Welcome to the Passion Behind the Art Show. It's all about diving in with individuals to learn the story behind their passion. It's your host, Daryl Pinna.
Well, I am excited to have Andrew Marriott on the Passion Behind the Art Show. He's the creator of the logo Creative. Andrew, welcome to the Passion Behind the Art Show, man.
Thanks, Donald. Thanks for having me on. Darryl, sorry. I keep calling you Donald. I talked to somebody else called Donald, and yeah, sorry about that.
Hey, man, no worries. All right, so how did your journey in design start?
I've been into design from a very young age. Always loved drawing. I studied A-level graphic design and art at school. Obviously my favourite subjects. I went on to college to further study the same subjects, moved on to university. I got distinction level diplomas in graphic design, web design, and I did some iMedia photography as well to mix in with the web design stuff.
Oh, cool. So after you left college, did you get right into a job, or where did your career turn after college?
After college, obviously I went to university. I was doing part-time jobs just to keep myself in study. I started off in IT. I did design at school, and then I went into IT and web design and things like that. And after I finished at university, I set up a business, an IT business and a design business, which is the AGR group. And been doing that for quite a long time, about 11 years now.
Oh, so you still do IT now too?
I still do IT, yeah. I don't have as much hands-on now because everything's cloud-based. Got a couple of colleagues that help me with that, so that's kind of like taken care of, and I can focus on doing this. This is where my passion is.
Oh, awesome. And this would be the logo Creative, right?
The logo Creative, yeah.
Yeah, so what is the logo Creative? How did that come about? Where are you trying to take this thing?
Well, obviously, I've always been into logos. I've always liked drawing logos. Superheroes as well. I was really into superheroes as a kid. The icons, the Batman icon, Superman, Spider-Man, all that stuff. And I used to draw my own superheroes and logos. And
nice.
And from a branding point of view, I was always into the way that the colours, the character, the branding around the whole character, and I think that's where it stemmed from, really.
Okay. So what is the logo Creative?
The logo Creative is a mixture of obviously my design business and a site that's orientated around logo design and branding as a focus, and not just another creative blog that's got a bit of everything in. I want to purely focus on logo content and branding content.
Okay, cool. So I noticed that you do interviews with other people. What was the inspiration behind adding that feature to the logo Creative?
I'd had the idea to do the interviews for quite a while. A couple of years back, I decided that I wanted to interview influential people, and I planned it for about a couple of years, about 18 months, and it just went from there. Started contacting people. I was quite overwhelmed with the amount of people that actually came back and said they were interested. Looking at the list, I've got a huge list. I still have. I've got this huge list, and I thought I'll probably get a quarter of them or some.
Right.
I'll not get the full list, and I got the full list.
Oh, nice.
Didn't get anybody that said no, which was fantastic.
Awesome. Isn't that's a good feeling? Because before you hear any answers, you're always like nervous and nerve-wracking, like, oh, is it anybody gonna answer?
Yeah. Quite a lot of them as well wanted to actually do like this, a video interview or like an audio podcast, and it's something I'd like to do in future. But the goal at the minute is I've got my hit list, and I just want to get it out there.
Right.
All the written ones.
Nice, nice, nice. So, what would you say was the hardest thing that you had to overcome when it came to building your creative journey and logo creative?
Um, I've always been my own person. I've never really let anything stand in my way. If I'm going to do something, I just do it. Um, I think that the hardest thing that I've had to deal with last year, I lost my dad last April.
Mm,
It was just starting to kick off, and everything was in place, and it was just starting to kick off. Um, he were happy with what I was doing, because it was actually him that said to me, just do what makes you happy. Because I said to him, I'm going to have to spend a lot of time um, doing these interviews that is going to take me away from obviously my paid work, my clients. Um, a lot of late nights, getting preparing content and stuff. And he said, just do it. If it makes you happy, just do it. Started doing it, and I've just carried on. Obviously, I've dedicated the project in his memory. Um, but yeah, it's been difficult. I mean, I'm still surprised at what I've been able to accomplish with it during probably the most difficult time of my life. But it makes me happy, and I feel close to him when I'm doing it, and
mm.
it's going well.
That's rough, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
No, it's all right.
Yeah. So, I know your father was, as you said, your father was a big part of you even starting to do this and going for it. Like, who were some of the other people that you say gave you support, kind of helped you along the way?
Obviously, my mum, my wife, my kids as well. They're always watching me designing logos and giving me feedback, and it's good when you get kids' feedback on. To be honest, it does work. It does
Yeah.
work. But when I was in full time, because I had a really good job, because I used to work in schools doing IT.
Mm,
I was the lead network technician, and I used to go around other schools doing project management, helping them with
okay.
the budgets and things. I liked the job, but it wasn't my passion. It's not what I wanted. I couldn't see myself doing it, within 5, 10 years time. And my wife encouraged me to. She says, "No, you're doing all right. You're doing well. You can do it. So leave that job. It's not making you happy, and start your own thing." And I think if it wasn't for her saying that, I don't think I would have done, because I like that security.
Right, right, right.
I handed my notice in, and rest is history. I
That's
don't look back.
that's nice. It's always good when you like, once you know your wife is there with you, it's just like you feel like you can do anything.
That's it. That's it. She's always saying to me, "I'm proud of you. You're doing really well. I like that what you've done." Stuff like that.
Ah, that's awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome. So, as we jump into some of the what would you say is your best book
But
recommendation?
right, I've actually got a really good. I brought a list here. Let me just have a look. So what I've done is I've done like three categories. So I've done books that have helped me personally, in business, and obviously helped me market myself online. Uh, Books that I use for logo design that help me get inspired, um, stuff like that. And then I've got obviously Goodreads, the ones that I recommend that can help with stuff like business, branding, strategy, all that
Nice.
sort of stuff.
Cool.
So there's three books that have helped me with, personally, and and market myself online. First one is, I'm sure a lot of people have read it, is Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk.
Uh-huh.
Definitely helped me a lot, putting myself out there online and put things into perspective.
Right.
The other one is Trust Funnel by Brian G. Johnson. That's a good one. He's got a YouTube channel. He's a bit crazy, but he knows what he's talking about. And the third one, which is it's kind of like it's like a little inspirational Bible.
Mm.
So it's not how good you are, it's how good you want to be by Paul Arden. I'm sure a lot of people have read that one. I've flicked through it many a times, but that has been, again, just little creative insights that have helped
Nice.
boost my motivation and put things, in check and stuff like that. So that's been a good book. Logo books, Logo Modernism, the big monster of a book. That's a good one. I always flip through that one. And then the second one is Logo by Michael Ivame.
Okay.
It's one that I use, that I put in backpack if I'm traveling around, and obviously I can't take Logo Modernism with me because it's like it's huge. But yeah, the Logo by Michael Ivame, that's a good one.
Okay.
And the Goodreads, which I've got quite a few of these on the book review section on the Logo Creative. Two by Fabian Gairolta, if I pronounce his name right. How to Launch Your Brand, and then Bigger Than This. Bigger Than This is an absolutely super read. Really, really good. Both of David Airey's books.
Okay.
Logo Design Love and Work for Money Design for Love. Both of those have helped me out. The third one, Branding in 5.5 Steps by Michael Johnson. Super book. All of Elena Wheeler's books, just buy them all. The stuff they get better as they go along, but they're all absolutely fantastic. And then the last one is a book that I've not quite finished yet, but I'm really enjoying it. It's by Douglas Davis, Creative Strategy and Business of Design. That is a really, really good one. And he was kind enough, in fact, Elena Wheeler as well, and Fabian were all kind enough to send me signed copies of those. So I'm super grateful.
Nice.
If they're watching, thank you again for that.
Yeah, that's a nice collection you have there. Nice collection of books.
I could probably go on all day with books, but I've just, just a few there.
Yeah, that's a nice collection. I need to. I read a couple of those. I need to check out some of them other ones. But that's a nice collection for sure. So, what is that product that you feel like you can't live without?
Um, I'd say obviously a computer, internet connection, Illustrator, Photoshop, to be able to do what I love to do, and obviously earn money doing it.
Right.
If I weren't able to use those, I'd obviously have to find another way to earn money. But I'd say those three things as one.
As one.
Yeah. Another that I bought that was quite expensive that I do feel has been. I'm not saying I couldn't live without it, but it's helped me with my process when designing logos and things like that. Is the Remarkable tablet, and I can do everything on it. I can write, I can sketch, reading books on it, which I don't normally do, but it's there if I need to. And I can also live sketch and stream my screen to a client. If I'm going through ideas with a client,
Nice.
they're at their end and they're saying I want it to look like this, so I can actually screen share the screen, and they can see what I'm drawing, and make alterations or recommendations and things like that, and then we can come to a final sketch.
Okay. Nice.
I've not done it a lot, but it does. I found it interesting the first time I did it.
Cool. So what's next? What's some of the things in the horizon for Andrew?
For me, just to continue doing what I love, being happy, looking after my family, stuff like that. Keep growing Logo Creative. I think I I can take it further than what it is at the minute, and I'm planning on opening up a new office/studio next year, just to separate a few things. As stuff increases, I need more space. At the minute, I've got two offices. I've got a home office, and then I've got another office, and I'm thinking about like a third one. I don't class my home office as an office, but just to separate things and perhaps grow, bring more people in.
Nice. Cool. So what are some of the like the top three ways logo creative brings in income?
Obviously through client work. We've got a lot of client work. We do a little bit of advertising, sponsored posts, which have been going really, really well.
Oh, cool.
We've got a few, like obviously affiliate links. We get a little bit back from those, not a lot, but it all goes back into maintenance at site. But it's mainly through client work.
Okay. So the sponsor post, how do you go about like getting that, executing that?
We've got an advertisement on the website, so people see that, and then they contact the Logo Creative and ask for a sponsored post or some advertising opportunities.
Oh,
So we've got some ads as well down the side of the blog, which some of them are paid for ads, some are affiliate links. If they want something like that, they can have something like that. If mainly sponsored posts are, if they want to write about something but promote something at the same time, we can do that. We just take it from there.
okay.
We don't push that. We get people coming to us and asking
Right.
for that.
You kind of just leave it on the site, and if someone fills out the stuff, you go from there.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's I'm always interested to see how everyone is kind of pulling in income for their little thing, because this stuff takes a lot of time. A lot of time you don't get paid for.
I mean, originally it was all because I just love creating content. I love getting that content out there.
Right.
I can sit all night and write stuff. It's just it's what I love to do. So it wasn't intentional to say pay for a post for advertising. I got an inquiry through when I'd only been started about a couple of months. I got an inquiry through saying, "Can I pay for this post?" I thought, pay for a post? And I said, "No, a guest post." They went, "No, we want to advertise a product and a business through this post." And I thought to myself, originally I would have said, "No, as long as the content's interesting, you can do that." But they insisted that they wanted to pay for it, and it was something to do with the X Factor. I think it was an app that for the X Factor, for the new X Factor, and it was the PR company that was doing the PR for this app, and they said, "No, we want to pay for it because it's advertising our products. We're going to make a lot of money from it." And I said, "Oh, okay then." So they paid me for that, and we put the post up.
Oh, okay. How do you know how they found you?
They found just through a Google search,
Oh, wow. That's good.
just for I think they typed sponsored posts, so it came through on that.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's very interesting. Very interesting. So, as we get ready to close, what advice would you have for creatives or someone who's trying to build something like the local creative?
I always say don't let anybody stand in your way. Always, if you're going to do something, just do it. There's always going to be those, as they call haters out there, that are going to try and stop you from doing what you do, perhaps because they're jealous or they just don't like seeing people doing things. I'd say just knock them out of the way, get rid of them, just focus on what you're doing. I'd say always be curious as well. Always be curious about what you're doing, why you're doing it, why other people are doing things, and just be enthusiastic with everything. I think if you're curious and you're enthusiastic, good things happen.
I like that. So where can people go to find you and learn more about what you're doing?
You can find me at The Logo Creative, either thelogocreative.com or thelogocreative.co.uk. I'm quite active on Twitter at The Logo Creative. I'm on LinkedIn. It's Andrew Marriott on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram and all the other ones, at the Logo Creative. So mainly Twitter.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Andrew, thank you for coming on the show. This was great talking to you, man.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. I've enjoyed it.
Oh, awesome.
Thanks again for listening to this week's episode. I really appreciate you taking the time out to listen to each episode. I hope this one brought you value. I hope you got some insight. And I hope it just caused you to start building your thing. Or if you're already building your thing, to remember that, this is all about patience and being consistent. Stop by iTunes and leave a review, because this really helps the podcast to grow, that more people can learn about it, more people can get to see it, and continue to share it on social media, which I really, really appreciate. If you ever want to reach out to me, it's D as in dog, P as in Peter, creates. That's DP Creates on Instagram or on Twitter. Those are the easiest ways to reach me. That's D as in dog, P as in Peter, DP Creates. Be blessed.